Hey guys, it's Sarah. Welcome back to my channel, Short Rest Manga. Today's video I was hoping to have my February manga haul. Unfortunately, I have two packages that were kind of pushed back into this coming week, so I'm going to wait another week to hopefully get those and be able to do just one big haul all at once instead of doing 10 mini hauls all throughout the month when it'd just be kind of easier to show you everything I got at once. So since I wasn't able to do the manga haul for today's video, I thought, what else could I make? What could I talk about? And since Valentine's Day is actually tomorrow, I thought, why not focus on what's in the air? And that's love. So for today's video, I wanted to talk about 5 different manga series that I've read that either focus mainly around a love relationship or have a love relationship as like a main part of the story. And some of these series are older that I've had for a really long time, and some are new. And I thought I could mix them in and hopefully maybe mention something you guys haven't read before. I do want to give some honorable shout outs to really current series that I really like and I think other people are really hyped in talking about, like Wotokoi, Love Is Hard for Otaku, Blue Flag, Rent a Girlfriend, Sweat and Soap. There's a lot of good love-centered stories and shoujos out right now, but since those are really popular and a lot of people are talking about them, including myself, I thought maybe I'd try to bring up series from the past that you haven't heard before. Or maybe you have. It'd be interesting to find out. So let's do it. So the 5 series that I've picked, I think that it's a good balance of whether you're really into shoujo or josei series or shonen. I think you'll get, no matter what you're interested in, something out of at least one of these series. So hopefully you guys can find something that interests you and maybe check it out. So starting with the first series that I picked is something that's going to be no surprise to anyone. It is probably out of all the series the most recently published, and I've already talked about it in the past 2 videos, so it comes to no surprise that I want to talk about Tomochan As A Girl. This series is a great, fast read. There's 8 volumes in total. The series is completed. It's published by 7 Seas, so the volumes are a little bit smaller, but this was a great read. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about it, if not already from my channel, from other people's channels, and seen it in the bookstore and things like that. So it's about Tomo and her best friend June. Tomo has feelings for June and confesses to him in the very beginning, and it totally goes over his head. He doesn't get that when she says that she likes him, it's in a romantic way, and he doesn't really see her as a girl. So the whole series kind of encapsulates the humor of how do we get June to see Tomo as a girl. So the main characters are Tomo, June, Tomo's best friend, Misuzu. There, that's so hard for me to say. And then Carol is a character that gets introduced, and just their dynamics and their friendships and how much emotion and humor that the mangaka can get across in just 4 panels. I showed you guys some of it before, but it's a 4-panel manga, and it really works for the story. It's really fun, and yeah, if you haven't checked it out already, I highly recommend it, and maybe even check it out online. I don't know too much about reading manga online. I've always preferred to, buy it and read it in person, but because at the speed I read through this story, maybe try it online if you can get it through some legal way to read it, so still supporting the industry, but it just is, I burned through these. So. Okay, the next series I have for you is probably my personal favorite manga of all time. I think it has a little bit of something for everybody, whether you're into action, a love story. I really like the art, so without further ado, I would suggest Library Wars, Love and War. It's just got a little bit of everything, and maybe it's just something for me that I think it hits a lot of the boxes for a really good manga. It is a shoujo beat manga. It takes place in a world where the Media Betterment Committee is taking away books and burning books and really censoring what readers can read, whether it's in the newspaper, but just going into bookstores and claiming certain books and blacklisting authors. And it's kind of like a military. They have weapons and stuff, they have guns, and so what was created in defense of that is the library the library forces. It follows our main protagonist, Iku, and she wants to join the library forces to defend books and authors against the cancellation and just pretty much censorship that they're trying to do. So she wants to join the Library Defense Force team, and she wants to, you know, basically be in their military and be, I think, maybe one or the only woman to ever like make it on. So that's kind of how the story opens. When she was younger, she had someone save her in a bookstore when the Betterment Committee came in when she was in high school, and they tried to take a book from her, and someone on the Defense Force stopped it from happening and gave her her book back, and that kind of set her on her path to join the library forces. So following her her journey to get into the library forces and also find this mysterious prince that gave her her book. So it's very interesting. It does have a lot of action. They go to training camps, like they do a lot, and there's points in the story where I'm like concerned for the well-being of some characters. So I think it's got a lot of great aspects, and let me show you some of the art. So here's some of the art. I'm trying not to give any spoilers, but I really like how it's drawn. I personally, if you do prefer to watch anime over manga, I personally would not recommend the anime. I remember I wasn't a big fan of the art style, of how they kind of portrayed the characters. I thought they kind of took away all their personality, and I really highly recommend the manga. There's 15 volumes in all. It is completed. I don't believe it's out of print, so you should hopefully have like not a hard time finding it if you do want to get into it. I try not to recommend series that are really hard to find or super out of print, because I'm not about the chase. I know some people are, and I highly respect that, but I just want to like be able to enjoy the series, and if it's something I really won't be able to get my hands on, I would rather just find it somewhere else. So I highly recommend you check out this series. I have nothing but good things to say about it. Is it a perfect 10 out of 10? No, but for me, it does a lot of things right, and I definitely think that if you could, you should check it out. So moving on to the third series I want to recommend. It's so funny, I was just talking about some things kind of being out of print, and I wouldn't want to recommend them, but that's kind of what this series is. It was first printed in 2007, so I'm pretty sure it's not in printing anymore, but you can find, I think, some pretty fair deals on eBay that I kind of looked up, and I think that's a reasonable ask for what it is and kind of being a little bit harder to find. So that series is Pretty Face. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of it before. This is a series I actually bought at my first ever anime convention when I went to Anime North in Toronto, Canada. I bought this in the dealer's room, and it's a pretty quirky series. So Pretty Face is about this guy named Rando. He is kind of seen as like the school delinquent. He skips school, he skips class, and he has a crush on Rina, which is a girl in his class, and he has a picture of her in his wallet, and he's outside walking one day and he gets hit by a car, and his face gets all like disfigured, and he has to go into the hospital where he goes into a coma for a year. And so not many people knowing who he is in the hospital. It's pretty much abandoned by his parents, his friends. A year goes by, they kind of just give up on him, and there's a surgeon there who doesn't want to and tries to wake him up from his coma and reconstruct his face, but the only thing they have to go off of is a picture in his wallet, which is of Rina, so his crush. And so you kind of see where this is going. He wakes up a year later not knowing what happened. The doctor fills him in. He now looks exactly like Rina, and Rina's missing twin sister. So Rina's sister kind of vanished one day. She just left. They don't know where she is, so when Rando wakes up realizing that he now looks like Rina, he kind of has to go through these life changes, and Rina sees him and basically thinks that her sister's back. So he kind of goes from having a crush on this girl to now having to pretend to be her older sister. Well, they're twins, so sister. And it's just pretty funny. It is rated for mature content because there are scenes where Rando, because now he's a girl but with a man's body, he has to put on like a breast plant, or you know whatever, just like fake breasts. And so he you know, so they show that and they don't censor it as much because they're fake. So that's mainly what that is. A lot of the humor is pretty standard and funny and pretty harmless, but they do show nudity on the top for him, and not like the other female characters. So it's definitely a more mature read of that kind of humor, but I still think it's pretty funny and I wanted to talk about it. I am missing volume 4 because it is out of print, I believe. I haven't wanted to, some people are trying just to sell that one volume for like 40 bucks. I think it's a little high, but I don't want to buy 1 through 6 again. It's 6 volumes in all, so it's a shorter series. If you're able to get your hands on the whole series, it's pretty enjoyable. Let me try to show you some art that doesn't have any nudity in it. So this is some of the art. I think it's pretty cool. Rando is like a strong guy who can fight, so you know, him not acting like a lady, him being around other girls, like it's just kind of humorous to see him reacting to all these situations. Oh yeah, I can't show you that. But there's this, just more images, and that's Rina. And so it's pretty funny. I would definitely pick this up if you can get a good deal for it. So yeah, again, I think I saw on eBay some people are selling it for like $60, and there's 6 volumes, and I think it retailed for like $8, so it's a little bit more, but I think there's some pretty fair prices out there if this interests you and you read about it more and want to pick it up. So the next series I want to talk about, I think I've already mentioned before. I recently collected all of it because I was missing the last like 8 or 9 volumes, and that is Blackbird. So this is a more well-known series. I would say there is a box set, so if you really wanted to get into this, I think honestly just buying the box set of 1 through 18 is the way to go versus trying to buy them all individually. I would try to find a way to read it online, and then if you like it and you want to pick it up in physical copies, I would check out the box set. So if you guys aren't familiar with this series, it is about Misao, or Misao, however you pronounce her name. She is a high schooler who can see these like demon spirits, and not many people can. And she eventually one day is attacked by a demon when her friend that she grew up with, Kyo, saves her from this and can heal her with his tongue. It's basically kind of like a demon love story. Misao is kind of the bride in the prophecy. It's basically so demons will come after her to either eat her to become stronger or like try to wed her. So Kyo wants to protect her, and it's like a love story. And I would definitely say this is more of a mature love story. If you like series where you read 10 volumes of manga and get to the end and a couple that finally get together, that have liked each other the whole time, and they share their first kiss and it ends, I would say if that's your cup of tea and that's kind of where you like to keep it, this probably isn't for you. They kind of move along in their relationship and it's got really dark elements. It's got good side characters, and honestly the whole demon world is pretty interesting, and the prophecy and learning more about the clan and how Kyo loves her, but like what his role also as like if they were to like really fall in love and get married, like what that would kind of mean for like the demon world. So it's pretty interesting, and there's a reason why it's really well liked, and I would say definitely if any of what I've said like appeals to you, you should definitely check it out. The last manga series I wanted to mention today for you guys maybe to check out is I Am Here. It's a larger volume. There's 2 that complete the series, so it's not too much of a commitment if you want to look into it. It's called I Am Here, and it's basically a love story in the most like innocent sense. This is like Shugo-chara level love. Like this is like a middle schooler, like 7th grade, maybe 8th grade, Sumino, and she is pretty much invisible to the class. So it's a girl with not a lot of self-esteem. No one pays attention to her. It's very, very like Anne Hathaway in Princess Diaries. Like, she's like invisible, and she doesn't have too much confidence in herself, and she likes to post on her blog. So she has 1 or 2 followers on there that kind of read her stuff, and she's able to kind of talk about how she feels on there. But it's basically a story where this cute, quiet girl is noticed by one of the most popular guys in school, and jealousy ensues, and trying to find out, finding that confidence of who you are and being able to come out of your shell and speak up for yourself. And it's just very wholesome and cute. I'll show you some of the art. So the art is really pretty. I love the art style. There's our main character, Sumino, and she's got a lot going on. Here's some of her classmates. I just really like it. You want to cheer for her like the whole time. It does suck you in a lot. So she does go through a lot of battles, and of course, you know, there's going to be trouble when this shy nobody takes all the attention of the 2 most popular guys in the class. So if any of that rambling interests you, I would definitely check this out. It's a very cute read, and I think it is something you can read over and over again, because you just kind of get sucked in and you want to cheer her on the whole way. So there you guys go. Those are the 5 series I recommend checking out this Valentine's Day weekend. Maybe you've heard of them, maybe you haven't. Let me know in the comments if you've read or heard of these series before and what you thought. Or if you have any other recommendations for romantic series to check out. And that's all I have for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a fun Valentine's Day. And let me know, what you guys are reading this weekend, if anything, or what new series you're checking out. I know Right Stuff is having like a Valentine's Day sale on some of their manga. I have been strong. I didn't buy anything, so I'm wondering if you guys did, if you picked up anything with the deal. Thanks so much again for watching the video, and I'll see you guys next week for another one. Bye guys!